Welcome back everyone. In this video we will be discussing how to write a C program to check whether a given number is a palindrome or not. Alright, so before we go on to discuss how to write this, let's discuss about palindrome numbers. What is a palindrome number? So if the reverse of a number is equal to the original number, then the number is a palindrome number. Okay, for example 1 to 1. So 1 to 1 is a palindrome number because the reverse of 1 to 1 is 1 to 1 only. Now consider 1 2 3 4. So the reverse of 1 2 3 4 is 4 3 2 1, and this 4 3 2 1 is not equal to 1 2 3 4. Hence 1 2 3 4 is not a palindrome number. Consider 1 3 3 1. So the reverse of 1 3 3 1 is equal to 1 3 3 1 only. Hence 1 3 3 1 is a palindrome number. So the idea is clear. If the reverse of a number is equal to the number itself, then it's called palindrome number. That's all. So what we'll be doing what the logic which we'll be performing in our C program will be, we will be calculating the reverse of the number which the user will give us, and we will check the reverse of that number with the number itself, and if it comes out to be same, then it is a palindrome number, and if it's not, then it's not a palindrome number. That's all we will be doing. Okay, so we have included up the stdio.h library, that is a standard input output library with the help of preprocessor, that is hashtag include. And the reason we have included up this library is because we are going to use the printf function as well as the scanf function of this library only in our program, that is a printf function as well as the scanf function. So the printf function is used to print something on the output screen, and the scanf function is used to accept something from the output screen. This is used for accepting a number, and this is used for printing something on the output screen. Okay, and we have and since the execution of the C program starts from the main function onwards, so we have also defined our main function, and we have given the return type to our main function as void, because our main function is not going to return any value. If our main function will return some value based on the data type of that number which our main function will return, we will give that return type out here. Suppose if our main function will return integer, then we will give int as a return type out here, and if our main function will return decimal number, then we will give float as a return type out here. So the idea of return type is clear, and we have defined the main function because the execution of the C program starts from the main function onwards. If you will not define the main function, your program will not execute. You will have to define the main function. That is very important. Now we have defined up some variables, and we have given the data type to our variables as int, and so int is a data type out here, and this all are the variable names. Now with the help of printf function of the stdio.h library, we have given the message on the output screen, that is enter the number to check, and based on this message the user has given us some number which we have stored in this variable, that is number variable, and we have used the scanf function for accepting the number, and we have used the %d, that is the format specifier, for accepting the integer value, and n% is used out here to fetch the address of this variable and store the number which is present on the output screen to this variable, that is number. In the next line, what we have done is that we have stored the value which the number is holding at this point to this original value, because in our program after this while loop the number value will be 0. So if we want to check the reverse of the number which the user has given us with the original number, then we will from where we will get the original number. So in order to get the original number, we will use the original value, because this is the variable which will hold the original number which the user has given us, because this variable currently the number variable is holding the number which the user has given us, but in our program, since we are changing the value of this number every time in this while loop, so number value will not be same. So we have given the original value which the user has given us to this variable, that is original value variable and original value variable, and we have printed this out on the output screen also. Okay, so till here we have given the message to the user to give us some number, and based on this message the user has given us some number, and we have stored that number in the original value variable, and we have printed that also on the output screen. Now what we'll be doing is that we will be finding out the reverse of the number which the user has given us. So inside this while loop we will be reversing the numbers. So for that, let's take number as 1 to 1, or just compile and run and watch this in action. So enter the number to check, and why we are getting this on the output screen is because of this printf line. So enter the number to check. So we will give 1 to 1 out here, and so 1 to 1 will be accepted by this scanf function of stdio.h, and this will get stored in this number variable. And we have given the same value to the original value variable also, and so hence the original value variable value is original value variable. It is confusing, but yeah, this is what the truth is. So original value variable value is %d, and we have replaced this %d with the original value variable values. So this is what we have got on the output screen. Now inside this while loop we have given this the condition which we have given to this while loop is that is till this number is not equal to 0, that is the number which the user has given us is not equal to 0, run this while loop, and once this gets equal to 0, terminate this while loop. So this is what the condition is. Now inside this while loop the first line says the iteration number. So this is just to give you an idea like in which iteration you are currently. So the printf function, the first printf line denotes that is the iteration number, so in which iteration you are. So this %d will be replaced by the iteration value. So the current value of iteration is 1, so it will be replaced by 1. So watch this. So let's discuss about the iteration number 1. So iteration number 1. Now rem is equal to number modulo 10. So the modulo operator gives us the reminder. If you don't know this, I will provide the link in the description below of the video where I have discussed modulo as well as a div operator and what they give us. In short, modulo operator gives us the reminder and the div operator gives us the quotient. So if you will divide 1 to 1 by 10, so this is what we have got. So reminder of 1 to 1 and 10 is equal to 1. So the rem value at this point is, because we are replacing this %d with the rem only, so the rem value at this point is 1. Okay, now the current value of reverse is 0, and at this point reverse is equal to 0 into 10, which is equal to 0 plus 1, because rem value is 1 at this point. Watch this. So 0 plus 1, 1. So rev value will be 1, and this is what we have printed on the output screen also with the help of printf function. So reverse value is %d, and we have replaced this %d with the rev value, that is this value. So 1, we are getting 1 out here, and in the next line number is equal to number div 10. So div operator gives us the quotient, not reminder. So 1 to 1 div 10 will be equal to 12. So the number value is 12. So we have printed this also on the output screen. So number value is %d, and we have replaced this %d with the number, that is this value. So at this point the number value is 12. That's the reason we are getting 12 out here. And why we are getting 12? Because the div operator gives us the quotient, not remember it. Now iteration plus plus, so the iteration value will be 2 from now onwards. Now in the next iteration, since the number is not equal to 0, so number value is 12, which is not equal to 0, so this while loop will execute once again. So in the next in the second iteration, so let's discuss about the second iteration. Yes, this is second iteration. So iteration number 2, because the iteration value has just incremented by 1, so iteration number 2, so remainder of 12, because the number value is now 12, not 1 to 1. In the iteration number 1, the number value was 1 to 1. In the second iteration, the number value is 12. So 12 div 12 modulo 10, this will give us 2, because if you will divide 12 by 10, you will get 2 as remainder. So we are getting 2 out here, and now the reverse the reverse variable value will update. So the previous value which the rev variable was holding is 1. Watch this. Rev value at this point is 1. So rev value at this point is 1. So in the second iteration, what will happen is I don't know what is happening. Yeah. So 1 into 10 which will be equal to 10. 10 plus rem. The value which the rem is holding at this point is 2. So 10 plus 2, 12. So the reverse value will be 12 in second iteration, and in the number value will be 12 div 10, which will be equal to 1, because if you will divide 12 by 10, you will get 1 as a quotient and 2 as a remainder. Okay, so 1 will get stored. So the updated value of number will be 1. So this is what we are getting. The number value is 1 in second iteration, and since 1 is not equal to 0, this while loop will run once again. So in iteration number 3, iteration iteration also incremented by 1, so iteration number is 3, and the rem value will be number div 10. Now the number value is 1 in the second iteration, so 1 modulo 10 will be equal to 1, because if you will divide 1 by 10, there will be no quotient, only remainder. So 1 will be the remainder, and this is what we have got on the output screen. And the reverse value will be, because the previous value of reverse was 12, you can watch out this. So 12 into 10, which will be equal to 120. So 120 plus rem. So the rem value at this point is 1. So 120 plus 1, which will be 121. So at this point, reverse rev variable value is 121, and the number is equal to num div 10. So 1 div 10, there will be no quotient, only remainder, so the number value will be 0. Hence we are getting the number value is 0. So after the third iteration, the while loop will terminate because the number value will be 0. Hence this condition will be false. Hence this while loop will get terminated up. Now I have used two /n out here. What this /n will do for us is that like after printing this line on the output screen, the cursor moves to the next line. Now if okay, this is the use of this /n. Like after printing this line on the output screen, that is printing this line on the output screen, the cursor moves to the next line. So putting two /n out here creates some space. Like once the cursor moves to this line and again executing the /n, this will move to the next line. So this creates some space. I have just done this just to make this output terminal more readable. Okay, if you can skip this too, if you don't want, skip this part, but this is just to make the output terminal more readable. Now at this point, the reverse value is 1 to 1. Okay, and now we have used the if condition. So original value, what was the value which the original value variable was holding? So what's this? Original value variable value is 1 to 1. So if 1 to 1 is equal to rev, which is true, that is 1 to 1 is equal to rev, that is a 1 to, because the rev variable value is 1 to 1 at this point. So 1 to 1 is equal to 1 to 1, which is true. Hence 1 to 1 is a palindrome number. If the input will be different, let me show you. Like I think you got the idea. Since now the reverse value is 1 to 1 at this in the third iteration, and the original number is also 1 to 1, so these two numbers are equal. Hence the 1 to 1 is a palindrome number. Now let's check for another input, like 1 2 3 4. So what will be the output? So 1 2 3 4 is not a palindrome number. And why it is not a palindrome number? Because the reverse value which we are getting in the last iteration is 4 3 2 1, and the reverse of 1 2 3 4 is 4 3 2 1 only. You can watch out this. The reverse of 1 2 3 4 is 1 2 3 4 only, 4 3 2 1 only, and which is not equal to original number. Hence 1 2 3 4 is not a palindrome number. Okay, and let's check for 1 3 3 1 also. So 1 3 3 1. So 1 3 3 1 is a palindrome number because in the last iteration the reverse value is 1 3 3 1, which is equal to original value variable and this is the reason we are getting 1331 is as a palindrome number on the output screen. So that's all. So in short, if you want to check whether a number is a palindrome or not, just calculate the reverse of that number and compare it with the original number. If both number appears to be same, then it is a palindrome number, and if it's not, then it's not a palindrome number. Okay, so that's all for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and comment if you have any type of doubt, and subscribe to my channel for this type